I went raw, decided to be a raw fooder, and I could manage that for a few days. And then I was back to eating cooked food. And then I went raw, because somewhere inside of me, I have this thing, I don't know, I don't know which part of me is me. That's a whole nother philosophical conversation. And so I don't know which part of me where the memories are all triggered, because apparently, or where they're stored, because you do get gut reactions to things. That's not a brain reaction, that's a gut reaction, and your bowels get tied up when you get emotionally constipated, and then your bowels get constipated. And so I don't know really where the memory, but there is a part of me that remembered that I knew I'd gone raw. I remembered that. And I'd gone raw for a reason. I remembered that. And the reason was cooked food wasn't getting me there. And I made the commitment to eat raw, and I'm eating raw, and then I'm back to cooked. And you know what? You go back to cooked, and it's perfectly fine. The first night, had a little cooked, it was fine. Next night, had a little more cooked, it was fine. Third night, you eat until you go unconscious. Who's done that? It's not just me, is it? Eat until you go unconscious. Lovely. And you wake up in the morning with the sour stomach, and you go, oh, this is going to be a long wait before I can eat again. And you go, oh, back on raw. Or you do a week or two of it. You got away with a week or two because you really controlled it, except you gained 3 kilos. Anybody do that one? Yeah. You know what? It's the same people. We've done it all. We're very kindred spirits. I actually did it the way I described it. I came in the back door. I went raw countless times, and then realized cooked food had crept back in again, crept back in again, crept back in again. I finally patted myself on the back that I had mastered the raw food thing when I got a 9-month stint on raw. 9 months, I mean, you figured it out. Except then something different happened. I went on a camping trip for 18 days of backpacking, carrying an incredibly heavy pack, 45 kilo pack, and ate as much as I humanly could for 18 days, and lost, in those 18 days, I lost 8 kilos. It's more than a stone of weight I dropped in 18 days. Well, the hungrier you get, the less discriminating you become. And all of a sudden, I was hungry. And I lost the plot. Back onto cooked food. I remember that one. And eventually I said, you know what? There's got to be a pattern. And the pattern I adopted was fruit for breakfast, salad for lunch, salad for dinner. And I could do raw food for a while, and then I'd get driven off. Back to cooked. And at some point had to say, this isn't working. So I went fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, salad for dinner. And I got much, much longer stints of raw. And then get driven back to cooked. And I finally just said, you know what? What I want more sweet. So I went fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, all the fruit I want before my dinner salad, and never looked back. Just never looked back. Then I started to do the math. Then I learned the science. Then I came up with the terminology. Then I came up with ways of being able to express to people what I was doing and why it worked and the rationale behind it and the sciences that supported it and the justifications for doing it and the other reasons as they tied in, because they come from so many directions.